I don't even have enough for tax stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm barely getting by paying bills, and I know I'm going to have more problems later this year with taxes and stuff. It's like an endless cycle. How do I like Modern Warfare so far? Well, I played it 6 hours. I think it's a mixed bag for sure. Sometimes, like, things are going well and getting going nicely, and then other times it's just horseshit. And I think it really is the connections. And as usual, I don't think that the game's ping, like it says, 28 milliseconds. It's not representative of the real connection you're getting. How is it that I'll play 2 matches, and both matches claim that they're around 30 millisecond connections, but one match, I go on a tear, and I'm killing everyone, and I'm on kill streak after kill streak, mowing everyone down, and the next match, every time I shoot someone, they get hit by 14 bullets, and no one ever dies, and they barely lift their gun, and I'm instantly dead. And it just happens over and over. And that happened today. I'd say half the time really good connection and half the time pretty shitty connection. But that's par for the course for Call of Duty. Like, it's been like that for a long time. So what's funny to me is that they never improve it, but people still buy it every year, right? And then people ask me, what do you think? Well, when it works, it's good. When it doesn't work, it's shit. It's always a mix. This kind of shit needs to come out. This kind of shit needs to be exposed for what it is. Now, what about now? You can't touch the floor or ceiling with the star? What? What's the purpose of the star if it doesn't make you invincible? What is that? I'm sorry, but I have to call complete nonsense on that. That's, if you have the star, you should be fine. If you don't want people to be invincible, don't give them the star, and then change the rules. Because that's exactly what they did. They changed the rules there. Someone says, yes, I just saw the new documentary. Aren't people ever going to get tired of just making documentaries about you? It's like I said this morning, because someone brought it up, and I was like, listen. The funny part about it is, apparently it has a really clickbaity title, but a couple people who I know have watched it, and they're like, it's actually not that bad. It's pretty factual, although, yes, it covers all the detractor stuff that people say about me. It's not necessarily like a 2-hour hate fest on me. It is meant to be more of like a documentary of all the crap I've been through, and it actually covers things like the SOK and people who betrayed me over the years and been really nasty. So it's not all bad. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a really nasty, destroying Phil's character kind of documentary. But then why is the title of it A Decade of Failure? Because it's not even true. If you actually watch it, apparently it's not even like that. He made a clickbait title. Whatever. It's gross. It's for this. It's not because they love what they're doing. You know what I would have called it? And this is true. And this would have been more catchy too. A Decade of Decline. That's what I would have called it. Because you could argue that my narrative is that I started at the top inadvertently. Like, it's not like I tried, but I started at the top of the YouTube gaming landscape. And literally for the last 10 years, it's been all decline. Absolutely, I would agree with that wholeheartedly, and I think that's a better title, and it rings better. Decade of Decline versus Decade of Failure? You know, there's a difference between failure and just a giant downward spiral of decline for various reasons, and maybe the documentary explores those reasons, right? But that's not clickbaity enough, right? We have to have the clickbait title. So, okay then. Clickbait title away. I get it. That's how YouTube works, right? No one else can. What, are you out of your fucking mind? You're a fucking scumbag. Take the paycheck, take the bag, be a fucking loser shill, and have no credibility whatsoever to anything you say or do. So you say that's depressing? No, it's not. Literally, it's not depressing to me, and here's why. Pops up and happens and says it's gonna fuck you over. She says, no, don't let that come overtake your mind. You have to focus on the positive. You have to focus on being here with me. You have to focus on being here on the positivity when you get to stream and you have fun on stream and stuff. And having that positivity and having that support means the world, and it changes things. You know, it does. And it doesn't have to be a significant other. Like I said, it could be a friend, it could be a relative, it could be a family member. All right? When I started on YouTube, I didn't know what I was getting into, nor did I sign up for it. I wasn't signing up to be one of the biggest gaming YouTubers. I didn't really care. To me, it was a joke. Literally, I've said this over the years. To me, it was a complete joke. I never took it seriously. It wasn't until many, many years later that I started to take this. I would argue that until like the year 2016, I was always treating it like a joke. And it wasn't until 2017 that I actually made an honest effort to actually make good content. Before then, it was just fuck around and everyone watches it and I make money. Like, seriously, that's what it was. But to me, that's not sad because I like who I am today better than I was back then. It doesn't matter if you argue that, oh, there's 10 years of failure, 10 years of decline. Yeah, but I'm better now than I ever was. My content's better. It's positive. Doesn't hurt anyone. It's not toxic. I get to enjoy time with my viewers. Is that and be able to make the payment that I owe or the payments that I owe. I'm basically in a situation where everything I've worked for this year is probably not going to be able to happen, in which case that's it. Like, there's nothing else to fall back on, and more than likely the next step would be people will try to start suing me for money, and I will more than likely lose the house rather than just put out content for money purposes. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why you would think that that's a bad thing. I'm okay where I am. Unlike these other guys coming out with documentaries about how miserable they are with their lives and everything's fucked up and everything's falling apart. That's literally not happening to me. You get it? Like, I'm happier now and doing better now than I was before. So it's not a decade of failure if you're better off now than you were. How could it be failure? It's actually completely the opposite. Yeah, I don't have as much money, but money is not the determining factor of success in life. If I'm happily married and I like the content now better than I used to do and everything, how the hell is that failure? But that's what I mean. Like, they want clickbait. They would just want to believe the negative rather than anything positive. Even though I've been saying ever since, 2017, 2018, I'm happier now than I've ever been. No one wants to believe that. They want to say that's like cope or something. It's not. It's true. I actually love my life now more than ever before. I'm having a better time with my life now. And I'm doing my best to try to actively improve. And I admit I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. I don't even know what else to say. Like, listen to me. I'm going to try to come through as honest as I can here. I love streaming. I love games. But I'm trying to be a better guy, and I'm trying to be a better content creator. And how is that not better off than all the contemporary lolcows who everyone hates their life? Oh, I'm so depressed, and I don't want to do this, and blah, blah, blah. I'm the opposite. I'm literally can't wait every day to come to work. I have so much fun with you guys every day. Why the hell wouldn't I want to do that? And I get to spend time with my wife and my family. I'm having a great time with my life. So how is that failure? Right? I don't get it. But again, these people also have the same criteria of judgment. Is that because I'm not making the money I used to, and I'm not as popular on YouTube, and people don't know me as well, that's failure, I guess. Okay, if you say so. If that's your judgment criteria, I guess by those criteria you're correct, and I can't really dispute that, right? So you know what? And I know someone will send this to Turkey Tom. So that's what I will have to ask him. If he really is serious about making a serious documentary, right? What's the decade of failure? If I'm better off today than I was before, if I'm healthier, if I'm happier, if I'm more successful when it comes to having a following of people who actually like me for who I am, as opposed to drama or being an idiot on the internet, right? If everything is better now, right? Besides my level of popularity, my views are down, and yes, my income is less than it used to be. But literally, if that's it, if that's all that's different, right? Then how can you say it's a decade of failure? Again, I hate to be a broken fucking record. Again, if you were saying a decade of decline, a decade on the downward slope, that all makes sense to me. Your criteria is based on views and popularity. You're correct. You're absolutely correct. But I'm not sad. I'm not unhappy. So how am I as a failure? Everything that I'm doing today is what I've wanted to do. Like, it's intentional of how I wanted things to go and what I wanted to do. So how is that failure? That's what I really don't get. It would be one thing if, like, I was trying to be a top gaming YouTuber and I was failing, and I was trying all the things. I was putting out all the stops. I was using the thumbnails. I was doing the clickbait. I was trying to follow all the trends, and I just couldn't do it. Then that's a failure. I literally am not doing that, nor have I ever tried to do that. So how is that failure? I would love an answer, a legit answer. With me every single day on stream. I love it, and it's that stuff's positive, and there's other stuff that's positive behind the scenes, but the fact that I might lose my fucking house over something that I have nothing whatsoever control over or to do with. So there you go. That's what I would ask Turkey Tom. Someone asked him that question. And that's a legit question. I'm not hating on his documentary. I've heard good things about it. I just don't like the title. They call it the decade of on the downward slope, the decade of decline, the has been. All that's correct. Literally all those statements are correct, and they're equally as negative. But when you say a decade of failure, I disagree. That I think is bullshit. But everything else, seems fine to me. I haven't heard anything too overly ridiculous, exaggerated, or negative about his documentary. So, anyway. They're so angry. I know they are. They're so fucking angry about how things went very positively for me this week that they can't stand it. So now they gotta try to be here and ruin my fucking chill stream tonight. Normally, Morrowind, I'm really able to just relax. Remember last week, all we did was level magic, and it went really well. We relaxed for 2 hours. My magic stats went way up. And now instead, they're so fucking butthurt and so angry that something would actually go right for me in my life that now they've got to be here to just shit on everything,